Hi everyone, it's Tony from Pimp My Heli. A lot of you know me as Wife Hates My Helis on the forums. I wanted to do a real quick video about my P-51 Mustang. It's an Airfield 1450 millimeter wingspan. The plane required lots of modifications just for right out of the box. I mean, just to fly it required so many things. I'm setting it up for FPV, and I just wanted to share, with you, some of the modifications I'm doing. Also, in this video, I wanted to do a test. Somebody on the FPV community .com forum said that they were being accused of crashing other people's airplanes because they were using their 900 megahertz video system. So I wanted to prove whether or not it's possible for a 900 megahertz video system to affect a 2.4 gigahertz RC system. There's a lot of speculation about whether or not that happens. I know that there are other frequencies that can cause problems with each other, but 900 megahertz and 2.4 gigahertz, they're just too far apart in the spectrum. But we're going to test that theory and see if these people's accusations have any basis and legitimacy to them. So I'm going to pause the camera real quick. I'm going to fire up the plane, and that will go through the test. The first modification I had to do to the Mustang is I had to rake the main gear on it. The stock main gear were so far back that the slightest resistance on the main landing gear would just nose the plane over. So I had to put 5 degrees worth of rake in it. And another problem I was having, that even after a 5-minute flight, the speed controller was just cooking. Now, it gets really hot here in Texas. Anyone that knows Texas, you know that it runs 105 plus degrees every day in the summer. We're dying here in the summertime. When it comes to RC and electronics, you have to do modifications and keep them cool. And so I had to do some mods on the P-51 to keep the speed control from bursting into flames in flight, because it was getting so hot that the heat shrink was melting. That's how hot it was getting. So I took it apart. Here is the stock heatsink that came on the P-51. I modified one, made one using a heatsink that's this thick. Okay? Alright, the stock one is 2.9 millimeters. This is 9.4 millimeters in thickness. So I'll show you that modification. For the radio I'm using is a Turnigy 9X stock. The only modifications I've done is I put the blue backlight in, and I put in a 2650 milliamp 3S 1C transmitter lithium polymer battery. This thing is great, and I'll tell you why. Any of you that have the 9X, alright, this is a stock battery holder. I got the radio a while back. I flew a $900 helicopter with this powering the transmitter. The very first flight, this shorted out my $900 helicopter, which was brand new. Decided to commit suicide because it didn't have anything controlling it. It died. So it crashed. So this thing is completely useless. Why they even bother putting this with the radio, I don't know. But if you have a Turnigy 9X or FlySky 9X, whatever, take this and chunk it in the trash, because it's not even worth its weight. You couldn't even use this as a paperweight. That's how useless and worthless it is. I replaced it. I put the lithium polymer battery in there. I have to charge my battery maybe once a month. So Lipo battery, transmitter batteries, upgrade, awesome. Anybody, if you haven't done it, do it. You'll love it. I'll post the link in the description to the battery for the 9X. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the camera, and we'll go ahead and show you what I've done, and then we'll do the test. Okay, I got the plane powered up. I got the gun started at the beginning. I painted the nose silver because I hated the red. They didn't match, and it looked really ghetto, so I got rid of that. Cut a hole in the side right here, and so that way air could escape where it goes in the cowl. And that I ran the speed control on the outside of the plane, and made my own heat sink, and I'm running the wires down the fuselage. I've done a 8-minute ground static test with this thing running wide open, and the speed control barely got warm. You can see here the difference in them. I mean, look at that. That is just ridiculous, you know. So I added 5 degrees of rake to the landing gear because the thing just nosed over all the time. Taking off on grass, impossible. So had to the tail gear is just so sensitive. I had to actually use a bunch of dual rate and expo on it, and you know, probably going to put another 2 degrees of rake in it, and that. I got all my FPV gear mounted into the removable pod. Got a 900 megahertz 500 milliwatt video transmitter, stock whip antenna. I have one large heatsink and one small heatsink to keep it cool. This thing, it doesn't even get warm anymore. You know, you can barely feel it. The heat sinks do work so well. Got a Sony SN555 color camera mounted on a high-speed digital servo for pan only. Mounted inside a foam block that's mounted rigid into the pod. Got a 11.1 3S 800 milliamp lithium polymer battery powering the video system, and that. Got the receiver mounted in here, and I got the antenna running out the plane and taped to the wing. Now I'm gonna pause the camera and we'll do the test on the interference. Okay, I have the antenna for the video system. You can see the red light that it's transmitting. I have it laying on top of the RC system antenna. Alright, you can see that the light is on for the receiver. Transmitter is on. And we're going to test everything. We'll do elevator first. Aileron. Rudder. Landing gear. Okay, we'll even take it a step further. Now it's pointed directly on, it's on top of the antenna, plus pointing right at the receiver. You see that? It's pointed right at the receiver. Elevator. Aileron. Rudder.
Nothing. No interference. Okay? So that solves that little problem right there. Another modification I did is I wired my camera to work on this knob so I can change it in flight easily. And that. Okay, so that's the test. Those are some of the mods I've got done so far. I'm doing some other things to it, building a fake canopy frame so it looks like it has a canopy on. I tried it with the stock canopy. You can't see nothing, it's too cloudy. So doing that, and I'm changing all the servos to Metal Gear high-speed digital servos. I'm running a 2654S battery. Might bump it up to about a 3000 milliamp battery. As far as the test goes, anybody that says 900 megahertz is crashing their planes, I'm sorry, you're either an idiot or you don't know how to build your plane or you're using inferior products. You know, of all the FPV flights using 900 megahertz video and 2.4 gigahertz RC, I've never had a problem. I crashed one helicopter, and as far as we can tell, that was a defective receiver because I replaced the receiver. Problem instantly went away. So I hope that answers the question on whether or not those two are compatible. I know a lot of people will say, well, separate them far apart. Well, I just proved right there, laying them on top of each other. You know, now I wouldn't recommend you putting your both antennas right next to each other, you know, and then flying, you know, a mile or two away. You know, I mean, use common sense, people, but that shows right there that no interference, you know. So if that's not going to affect my plane with the antennas laying on top of each other, it damn sure isn't going to affect someone's plane that's 50 to a couple hundred feet away. So those people are idiots, and anybody that tells you that you're crashing their plane with your video gear, yeah, maybe you should tell them to go take a course in how to build, because it's just not happening, at least not in my world anyways. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I got plenty more. I know people, you've been asking me, you know, for videos. I have tons of videos coming. I really do. I've just been so busy, and I got some really cool videos coming. I got some cool helicopters I'm finishing up. I'm working on a 5-blade one here. I got another 5-blade helicopter in the works. You know, some A109s, you know, MDs, you know, got some FPV helicopters I'm building for customers. Got some crashed ones that I have to. I'm pretty swamped, but I'll get the videos. So, anyways, you know, happy flying.